Before this video begins, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my channel members who you can see on screen now. Become a member by hitting the join button and get your name here among other awards today. Hello there and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 3. Today we're continuing on Let's Play. This is episode 127. In today's episode we are taking a look at the Class F North America Tour, the final of the tour events for now. For that we need a Class F American cars, and there's not many to choose from, hence why I'm going to choose the worst Camaro in the world. It's the 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Z28.
That's not the worst Camaro in the world. The worst Camaro in the world is 1969 SS.
You're not wrong.
Yourself?
Exactly.
What about the
Please.
Pontiac
Aw.
Firebird?
Oh my god, those colours.
Oh god, that wing though. That is a cool looking wing. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's go.
Four's getting an interface update along with the RTR Mustangs, then you know when we dated this.
Yes.
By the way, this is how you know when we recorded it, is by bringing up the RTR Mustang update.
Do you like Mustangs? I
Club
feel like
it's Sunset Peninsula Club Circuit. There you go, I can speak. I think this game has more American track than anything, so this might actually have some thing. Also, hello Roman.
Oh, Jesus, I've just seen what the second track is.
Oh god. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Emile. We're only in F class at the moment.
Oh!
I'm just concerned when we get up to the higher classes with said track.
I mean, send me it, Sam, and I'll listen to it. I'll make you listen to some good quality Slipknot while we're there.
I forgot how full that Camaro generation looked like with those.
It's not a good looking car.
Yeah, I mean, who fuck, that front was cool.
It also makes 150 horsepower.
It makes horsepower.
Magnificent muscle car.
175 horsepower. My Honda makes more. And this has a
5-litre V8?
I think it's over 5 litres. I think it's like a 5.7 or something.
America during the gas crisis, everybody. Giant engines, nothing.
But this is 1979.
Yeah, still part of the gas. Still technically part of the gas crisis.
Yeah, RKD.
Why are our DMs nothing but porn memes? Because that's all you're good for.
RKD, you wanna know why? Because they needed to show that they were Americans, so big engines. But if we make too much power, it will use too much gas. Let's not make.
To be fair, I will say it does make like 100 more torques than my Honda does. But
yeah,
that's because you drive a Honda.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
I mean,
my Honda makes okay torque.
For a Honda, maybe.
I mean, if you think about it, my truck is a 1985. It's got a 4.9 liter straight six, and
2 horsepower.
It makes like it made like 120 at a factory, but it makes a shitload of torque for 120 horsepower.
Oh my god, it's only a 4-speed. That's also an issue. This is gonna be fun in New York.
Complain about Emile's DM being nothing but porn memes. Hello!
I will say, it corners somewhat flat.
Ton memes are the best memes.
I'll give it that. Turn 10 have started to focus on Forza Motorsport 8, but they'll continue to support 7. To be fair, 7's is getting into a really good place at the moment, so...
It is, and you know they're still focusing some updates on it, which is good.
Yeah. It's nothing like the game that launched 2 and a bit years ago.
The game that launched.
How are you doing? I'm very tired.
Right, so the engine that's probably in this is a 6.6-litre V8.
6.6 liter V8, how much?
Yeah, 6.6-litre V8 producing 130 odd horsepower.
No, this one's the Z28. This has 175 wild stallions under that hood.
Even so,
You know what I like about this car?
6.6-litre V8.
Yeah.
Remember Midnight Club 3?
Mm.
You remember like the Charger, the Dodge Charger and shit was in like C class.
Mm.
This was in B class, so in Midnight Club 3, this is a better muscle car than a fucking 69 Charger.
Yeah, but that's Midnight Club 3.
You sure that wasn't a 70?
No, it was
because they're part of the same generation, I believe.
No, it's this one.
Because it was the The first generation Camaro is that boxy looking thing. The 70 is the second generation. This is the second generation. The second generation was until like.
You can tell by the way the rear lights look like shit.
Yeah, and this went until like the mid 80s, and then there was the one Rhino's
and then in
got.
the mid 80s, that's when they went into the
I'm
F-body
fine with
Camaro,
that.
and then in the 90s they switched over to the Catfish Camaro until the early 2000s. Then they're like, "Fuck the Camaro, it's dead, bye." And then they brought back the Camaro in 2008 and be like, "Oh, it's the Bumblebee car now."
Yes, they were like, "Hey, GM Holden, that's a nice looking car you've got. Would be a shame if someone was to cancel its American version, cancel the Australian version, and steal the chassis."
Yeah, and now
It's a new car-ish.
Yeah,
Yes,
and now the Camaro is basically, you know, oh, let's keep the Bumblebee Camaro, but let's just alter the styling a little bit so it
It's
looks
actually
like
on a new chassis now, believe it or not. It's not on the Aussie chassis anymore. In 2016, it's now on the same platform that the Cadillac CTS sits on. So.
But yeah, no, the one in the
no
Club
worries,
was an
Roman.
81.
It's insane. I must point out as well, this is not a light car. When I did the Top Gear laps on it, I believe this weighs around 3,800 pounds or something ridiculous.
So it's a fucking boat that cannot.
So that's
doesn't
on average of about 2 tons.
Yeah, so it's less powerful than my Honda,
And it weighs
heavier.
about twice as much.
and it also has one less gear than my Honda. And the top speed is 20 miles an hour less.
Yeah, because your Honda does 150, doesn't it?
141.
141. This
officially.
will do an average of about 120 maximum.
I don't know, we need to wait until we get on the Autobahn
And then
see
when you
what it
hit
can actually do.
120, the engine explodes.
Well, the problem is it's going to hit redline at around 120 because I've only got 4 gears. And at redline currently it's making 162 horsepower and 153 foot-pound of torque. Which, bear in mind, that's less than my Honda. Even on the torque figure, that's less than the Honda. How much torque does this make? I don't want to stop, that's the issue. I think it makes like 260-ish. Oh, they're rebooting Knight Rider, are they? Hopefully they don't use a Mustang this time around. What car are they going to use?
They're rebooting Knight Rider. Hopefully Dav likes to get to make the game again.
Did you see it?
Oh wait.
Wait. Oh, no, never mind. I thought this car was cooler. Did you see those guys played Knight Rider on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triple jump. They're legit.
Yeah, I know. Triple Jump was pretty cool. I haven't seen any of their worst games bits yet, though. But what's Knight Rider like? Is it bad?
Shit.
Is that the April Fool's game? Actually, I'd say the.
No.
I need to make an announcement. Actually, I'm doing an update video this week.
It's not even funny in attitude.
I'm doing an update video this week. I have bad news for you all.
This year.
There is no April Fool's video this year.
Good.
Because I mean, there is no more racer games.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
that's right,
could
man.
easily dig up another terrible game. The problem is I've got something else that sort of needs to go out at the same time.
Which
And April
is-
1st literally lands on Monday. So...
That's a shame.
Oh, right.
Do-do-do-do-do.
But yeah.
That one.
It's
Triple jump. Only
gonna be
you
a-
tell your
This
friends.
is the Car Showdown video.
Oh, actually, that's a point. I wonder if Silly Car Showdown... Yeah, Silly Car Showdown should line up with that. I wonder what the April 1st's car's going to be.
Well, no. Well, if it
Quick,
is
someone
going
recommend
to
the Super Van.
Super van.
Well, I can't exactly request it because you know.
I'm going to get round to
Even
yours
mine.
next time we do it.
Yeah.
Supervan. I want the Supervan.
I'm trying to get rid of... The problem is, I'm trying to do the cars at the moment, it's interesting. The problem is there's a lot of Fords and a lot of British cars on there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to avoid a lot of Fords and a lot of British cars, but I appreciate some people have been waiting forever, so... I think I know for a fact I'm covering one of yours next, I'm covering one of Poland's next, and now I've got 2 more that I'm going to decide on. I think one of them might be one of the
let me-
commenters.
Oh, look at the engine swap lists and see if I can get a rough idea of something that's not American or British,
Or a Ford.
but is somewhat interesting as
Anyways,
well.
New York full circuit reverse, aka let's buzz the limiter. I'm gonna find out actually. I've got the stats in here somewhere. Ah, here we go. Retro muscle cars. 1979 Camaro Z28 makes 175 horsepower, 270 foot-pound torque, and weighs 3,560 pounds.
Heavy boy.
Compare that to the King
It's
Cobra.
a heavy boy.
Just to point out, the 5-litre Mustang 2 King Cobra makes 139 horsepower and 250 foot-pound of torque. That actually weighs 2,600 pounds, so...
Yes, but it's the Mustang 2 we're talking about.
Here's a question for you. Would you rather own a 1979 Camaro or a Mustang 2?
1979 Camaro.
79 Camaro.
I mean,
never.
I'm not a
I would
Mustang
never own a Mustang 2.
Can I be honest?
It's not worth it.
I'd walk past both and buy a Pinto because I actually like the Pinto.
If that's the choice,
The
I'm
Pinto
gonna buy a
probably has
Hornet.
more performance potential as well.
yeah, it's later.
I really want to get a Pinto and stick a Mustang SHO engine in it, or whatever the... What was the 80s turbocharged one called?
It was the Taurus show.
No, not the Taurus, the Mustang with the turbo. I know it was in the Thunderbird as well.
What, the ASC McLaren?
No. There was a turbo Mustang in the 80s that was like, enjoy exploding. Listen, all of the cars of that time had that issue.
Yeah.
The worst bit is, right, everyone goes on, oh yeah, the Pinto explodes when you hit it from behind. The Pinto had that issue. I believe the Chevette had an issue where the ignition key would randomly fall out or something.
Well, that was pretty much Chevrolet
GM
in the
product.
2000s.
The AMC Pacer just had many reasons to explode. I think, like, the AMC Pacer literally had an issue where, because you know all the windows it has?
Yeah.
The interior in a Pacer literally melts. Because of, it's got too many windows.
Nice.
Yeah, every car from that era had issues. The Corvair killed people.
The what?
The Corvair. That rear engine
Yeah.
thing GM tried.
What did it do?
Keyword tried. Didn't
Well, it was
succeed.
rear-engined rear drive and it had a solid axle rear end. How did you think that
Oh
ended?
god! Well, let me guess, spinning out and falling off a cliff.
Yeah, the worst bit is that was like the Pinto where it was just overblown. How is this thing sliding? You have 100 horsepower. Oh, Jesus.
Everything goes to the rear wheels, that's why.
It's the worst car in the world. People would also take
Oh!
Chevettes, cut the firewall and jam big engine in them. SVO Mustang,
Right.
that was it, by the way, the turbo one.
Right, I'm going to check the request list real quick.
Hey, yeah.
See if something I've just spotted has been requested yet.
Fun fact, driving something this big and this heavy through slaloms is terrifying at 90 miles an hour.
No.
Hyundai Genesis Coupe! I never thought I'd say this, but I'd rather be driving a Hyundai right now.
Fucking god, it is dire.
We actually have to at some point. The Genesis has a one-make race in this game.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
90 run.
Right.
Changing gears, shifting lanes, I wish this was over with, holy shit.
There's only one good Genesis, and that's the one that fucking Phil Collins.
Hell yeah.
Not even
Turn it on again.
Phil
I
Collins
can
is a
dance.
fucking treasure.
Phil Collins is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also surprisingly not dead yet.
Whoa, oh.
Even though he kind of looks like he is. A bit.
Yeah, but, I mean, can't he, like, not fucking drum anymore because he is...
He can't drum because the nerves in his neck and wrists are completely gone.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I.e.,
after so
he
long.
can't feel anything.
Yeah, so
At
basically he can't do Can You Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight?
He can't feel
Jeez.
anything coming in the air tonight, it would seem.
Well, I don't know. I think he has like a 30-year-old girlfriend, so I'm sure he is coming in the air every night. So. And I think he lives in like Sweden or something.
Right. Speaking of Sweden, I think I've found a car that well, I could request once while mine is gone.
Oh god.
Is it the Iron Knight?
No. Well, it is Swedish, but it's not that.
Is it a
It's
242
There's only
turbo?
2 Swedish brands. It's either going to be...
No, it's
Is it a
front-wheel
V6
drive though,
Polestar?
and you can probably guess where I'm going with that.
Oh,
It's
850.
the 850R.
You mean 870R?
Oh, I have nightmares of that thing from last time I drove it on Forza 7.
Well, you know what?
Because that thing
Well,
could have,
you
like,
might
the
as well say that.
That thing
Says,
was front-wheel drive and had the NASCAR engine, and it was terrible.
In fact, let me just check.
I think the
I don't think
NASCAR
it-
engine's dead in Horizon. Actually, no. Yeah, it is, because they replaced it with the trophy truck engine. Which I incorrectly say in the upcoming episodes from a Ridgeline, but it's actually from the Polaris thing.
Ooh.
The Polaris Rockstar truck.
Oh, it's from the, like the RJ2, like the Pro 2 class.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was from the Ridgeline because it goes in some Hondas, but no, it's from that. I don't know why it goes in Hondas, but sure. Oh, dude, I loved that thing called Back on Top. I don't know what it is, but I love being back on top. I thought I said
What?
Jack Daniels on the side of there then, to be honest with you.
Well, if it did say Jack Daniels, this game would have to have an M rating because alcohol.
It could say Jack Daniel. Well, no, they just have to put little boxes over the letters. I like that.
I mean, it does have an advert that literally says strap on. Oh, it's snap on. Never mind.
Oh yeah, like on the.
Now you've got me imagining a fucking. You've got me imagining a fucking toolkit that's got a dildo bit that goes in the end of the ratchet.
I mean, there is literal adverts for MSN autos, so
Oh god!
the best place
Hey.
to buy cars.
Didn't
Hey,
MSN die by the time this was out?
No, MSN's still around.
Yeah, MSN
Really?
still exists.
Ow!
It's like the homepage to Microsoft Edge, which no one uses, so...
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. I think I might have just found one better.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
What are you going to?
So you know how I've got.
Oh, what the fuck?
What'd you do?
What you do? Let's have a look.
Did he clip some?
How does this thing have enough power to do that?
Oh!
Oh,
Shit,
just got full. Nice.
It's like the slowest...
Oh my
what
God,
speed was that at, by the way?
4.
This is the worst car in the world.
Hang on. Let's see. So you start sliding. You start sliding at roughly 40 miles an hour.
Nice. But on the
See,
plus
I was
side,
right,
at least
there
I
was
have
a
50... At least I got 50% off differentials by eating pussy, so that's good.
Yay!
Right, so as
Roll
I
it. I don't think it's possible to
Wait,
roll it,
hang
it's
on.
not quick enough.
Sebring Short is next.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Sebring International Speedway, built on a
Oh, yeah.
military railway.
Oh yeah,
Right.
the race that's happening twice this weekend.
Why is it happening twice?
Because there is the World Endurance Championship that goes there for 1,000 kilometers, I think. And then
I thought they
there
were
is,
getting rid of like the 1,000 kilometers and like centralizing everything around hours or something there.
No, I think it's 1,000 kilometers, and then the next day, that's on Friday, I think, and then on the weekend there is a 12-hour of Sebring from Peninsula.
I just realised something.
What?
Have you seen the two cars this thing starts in between of?
What?
A Scion
Uh.
XD and a PT Cruiser Turbo. A Scion XD has a higher PI rating than a 79 Camaro.
Wow.
And that's the Scion XD. Oh, what did I call the title of that video again?
LOL XGJKKMA.
The best title.
The worst title.
I know, some of my titles this week are pretty good, to be fair, I think.
Also, I read an article today. F1 driver actually took a lot of weight and muscles because they don't count as in the weight of the car.
PT Cruiser PogChamp. To be fair, out of everything that's not a Ford here, the PT Cruiser is probably the one I'd actually buy.
Because before the fucking F1 driver weight was taking into account for the car weight, so they had to fucking be slim as fuck.
Oh god.
Yes, but now they actually changed the rules so that they have to take into account like I think car plus an 80 kilos person or something like that. I can't remember how much it was. So they all fucking ate like crazy because they don't have to do fucking diets anymore.
Nice. See you later, HB.
And I think I read like Hamilton went up to 150 pounds.
Oh, your daily driver's a PT Cruiser. Oh, interesting. How is it? Also, by the way, could I point something out about the Camaro Z28 again?
Yeah.
The power red line's at 4,500 RPM. Is this an accidental diesel?
I think it might be, actually.
I'd actually bet the Oldsmobile diesel revved higher than this does. I know the Accord diesel, the redliner, that's like 5, so... And I like to point out that was Honda's first ever diesel engine, and it revs to 5, so...
I need to find
revs
out...
just 5.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, I know, mine revs like 7.2, 7.3, somewhere around there. Which is like nothing for a Honda, but, you know. You'd probably get more out of it if you do shit with the cams and probably do an ECU tune. Although I might not be an issue, because I don't think the automatic box would particularly enjoy that.
I wonder what's the fucking red line of my car is.
That's the thing with the PT Cruiser, is it wasn't necessarily a bad car. It just wasn't hugely interesting. I will say though, the fuel economy on that thing is fucking shocking. Like, I think the fuel economy of those is like, by UK standards, the fuel economy for them is like in the mid-teens for town, which is ridiculous.
Jeez.
Is it ridiculous as in low?
Well, they had to sell it as a small truck in America, and I believe and I believe when it came to Europe, it had to go under a sort of, I think they class it as like a SUV here or something. Like, its actual official class is like people carrier or SUV, so it can get around stuff instead of being what it is, which is technically medium-sized hatchback. But yeah, I mean, you can fit a lot of stuff in it. It's not the worst-looking thing in the world.
Yeah, there is.
I like it. It's growing on me.
I would never own one. But, to be fair, when you compare it to some of Chrysler's other UK offerings, like the Sebring Diesel, and the Sebring Convertible, and the Crossfire, is the PT Cruiser... Is the PT Cruiser the best Chrysler we got? No, the 300C exists.
300 wagon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The 300 wagon.
Is there anything else that Chrysler gave us that was better?
300
Include
wagon.
Dodge in that.
Did you guys ever get the Ram SRT10?
No.
Damn.
No.
Why would we?
Chrysler came here in 2008. I will list off everything I remember, right? They gave us the...
Dodge Nitro.
Yes, the Nitro. Actually,
It's fly though.
I kind of like the Nitro. I have no idea why I like the Nitro. It's the best, worst thing in the world. It's better than the Jeep Patriot. That thing is horrific.
What the fuck is Jeep Patriot?
The Patriot is like a really
I actually...
ugly.
Yeah, I don't
thing.
want to know. I don't want to know.
It's basically a Nitro with a ground effects kit on it.
Yeah, the Jeep Patriot is awful.
Yeah. It's not a good looking car. And people don't like the Renegade. I would own a Renegade a million times over a Patriot. I actually
Why?
like
Renegade
the
is
Because
nice.
there was a dawn of justice.
Yes, I actually like the Renegade, especially the Dawn of Justice, because that's the best.
Don't
trim
you
I've
like?
run.
Don't you like the Dawn of Justice? As well?
Listen, I love the Dawn of Justice. I love the Nighthawk 2, the 1941 edition. It's just great names. If I had a nicer ride, I would still drive the PT daily. Nicer ride on the weekends. Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
I'm going
like
to
I
be
said,
honest.
that's the thing with the PT Cruiser. It wasn't necessarily a bad car. It sort of... I think, to be fair, the PT Cruiser over here isn't as much of a joke. It's like the Prius. The Prius isn't really that much of a joke in the UK, really, is it? Like, the
Not
only thing I
really.
remember the Prius being really mocked for is the fact that it was needlessly expensive, because they were trying to charge like 30 grand for those new in like
Yeah.
2005, which was like, what are you doing, Toyota? Can you kill me, please?
What do you
I can
think?
plan it.
No.
What do you think you're selling, Toyota?
Yes.
That's a mid-size hatchback with an electric engine. Not fucking.
That thing was terrible. Because I think they priced it higher than the Avensis. And don't get me wrong,
God
like,
damn it.
the Avensis wasn't a great car, especially compared to its rivals. I was looking at Avensises and, like, the best engine you can get in that was like a 2.4 with 160 brake, and it's just like...
You're just like, why?
Well, actually, the biggest engine in the Avensis is the Special Edition D180s, which was 180 horsepower diesel, but those engines are universally known for being fucking awful, so...
Whoa, why?
Because they're just unreliable as shit. They put the
Yeah.
same engine in the IS-220D.
Oh wait, they made an IS-20D.
Yep,
They
that
made-
was the only time Lexus ever made a diesel car. They tried to make it appeal to Europeans, so they stuck a diesel in it. Immediately realised it was a fuck-awful idea. Ended up scaling back the power of the old 200, and then just sticking a hybrid to it later on. So... My dad had a Patriot until some
Morons.
Mexican ran into him at a cross-junction and of course didn't have car insurance. Oh dear, that's not good. So your
Well, that
family
is
seems
not.
to like Chrysler products then. Interesting. I wish we sold the Ram SRT10 here. The Ram was bitching.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have worked and no one would have bought one. But the Ram's cool. It's like the, oh god, what? We got something stupid American here for a while. What did we get? The Cadillac STS. That was a car that made no sense here, but it's cool. Because
It's
it's
amazing,
like,
yeah.
why is it here?
See, now, it's a luxury car in Europe because it's rare. They didn't sell many of them.
Oh, they sold none of them because no one... The market was not really there. Also, Mazda Raceway, Laguna, Seca. The market was not there for Cadillac to
Mazda
come back
Typhoon,
and offer us a
Lagoon.
front-wheel drive V8 saloon. I remember when Jeremy Clarkson reviewed it and he said everything is awful about it apart from the engine. Do you remember what engine the STS had?
It had the North Star
Yep.
V8.
Yes!
That was
Which
the
is
best thing about that
fucking love.
car, and that engine is, it's an engine.
Yeah, it's an
Fucking
engine.
love the
It's
North
an engine
Star.
that... It's an engine that, about halfway through its lifespan, decides it doesn't want to be an engine so much as a coffee table.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Okay, I am
I
going
mean,
to kill you now.
The starter, I believe the starter is underneath the cylinder heads. Or you
Oh,
like
that's
the valve
useful.
cover.
Well, I believe the biggest issue those engines had was block cracking. They did that without you even putting any more power into them.
Lovely.
And don't get me wrong, I don't like the LS, but... I mean, the
Well,
funny
it's
thing is
better
the
than
North
the
Star could have worked if they had, like, actually done sort of what Ford did with the 4.6, which was, you know, competently build it. Or, I say competently build it, I'm talking about the 4.6 dual 32 valve thing they stuck in the Marauder. God, I want a Mercury Marauder.
Just because it's better than a fucking, shit, what am I thinking of? The Crown Vic. Yes, there we go.
Well, I always wanted a Crown Vic, because I think the Crown Vic looks absolutely fantastic for some reason. I just love the way the Crown Vic looks.
Yes. Does.
And the Marauder is sort of that, but better, so that's why I want one. I tell you what, the two American cars that I've loved my entire life, Ford Crown Victoria 1991 Chevy Caprice. I love both of those.
Hmm.
The old
Do
Caprice.
you like the
The old Caprice is like, I have wet dreams over that car because it's just the most amazing thing.
do
You're
you
a
like
strange
the,
person.
Do I like the what?
the Buick Roadmaster wagon from the 90s?
I
Yes.
prefer the way the Caprice looks, but the Roadmaster's cool as well. Just any of them, they're G-body cars, aren't they, if I remember rightly?
Sure, let's go with that. I'm not an expert on
Not sure.
Chevrolets.
Oh no, they're B-bodies, that's it, B-bodies. First Toyota was a Corolla Wagon KE70 from 83. Both were previously owned by my aunt. She needed them gone, got them cheap. My dad was a Toyota fan. Okay, interesting. What does he have now? Toyota fan. I like Toyotas.
Toyotas are cool.
Like I said, the funny thing is I probably would have had an Avensis if they had more power and the interior wasn't as crap as it was. I really want a new Camry. I don't care what anyone says, the new Camry Hybrid is, like, that is an awesome car.
Alright then, Martin Truex.
I did feel to be correct.
Well, the thing is, the Camry Hybrid, because, like, the problem is, I've got the Accord now, obviously, and I want to keep it for years and years and years. But you do think of, like, oh, what do I want next, sort of. You know,
Yeah.
you do, even if you don't plan to get anything for a long, long time, you do start to have a, you know, nosy around, see what's around and stuff like that. I like to keep an eye on prices and stuff. Let's be honest, I'm a sad cunt, so all I do is sit on Auto Trader.
Yeah, me too.
And I was looking at the Civic Saloons, because I went into a Honda dealership and I saw those. I was like, that's a really good looking car, and I like the interior. I like everything about it, apart from the engine. Because they refused to give us the 1.5 turbo in the saloon because of emissions. So you have to have either the 120 horsepower diesel or 120 horsepower petrol. Now, I'm not being funny. I'm not going from a 190 horsepower saloon to a 120 horsepower saloon. But the Camry Hybrid? No. It's got wood. I think it makes like 300 brake-ish, somewhere around there.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's Japanese as well, and I want to stick with Japan because I like Japanese stuff.
No, you
Japan are
don't.
good.
Don't get me wrong, if Fiat made a saloon with like a 6-cylinder, I'd be buying that until the dawn of time, but they don't.
But not an Alpha.
I really like, I was looking at 159s, and there was a few of them that were tempting, but I don't know.
They cost too much. They are, because then you have to think about the fucking taking care of them, which they need a lot.
I was very close to getting a 159. The problem is I wanted a petrol one, but the diesel in those cars is just so much better. You can't really justify it. Because they have like a 2.4 diesel that's 200 horsepower. And it's like, that's great, but I don't want a diesel Alpha because that just seems wrong.
It just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys remember that?
I mean,
episode
when
of
you
Top
think
Gear?
when you think of an Alpha, you think of a silky, smooth ride with a petrol. You don't think of a battering, clanging, smashing
Diesel.
wreck of a fucking
Hey.
diesel
Hey,
inside of a beautiful body.
Yeah,
You guys
I'm sorry that
Top Gear where they
are
tried to
actually
drive
good.
750 miles in diesel cars, or just basically fuel efficient cars. I kind of actually really want that Jaguar that Clarkson had.
Oh, the what? Which Jag did he have? It was the XJ.
It was the
diesel, wasn't it?
XJ diesel, because he said that thing could have, like, they checked the petrol, they checked the fuel tank. I almost said petrol tank, but they checked the fuel tank after the challenge was done, and they said it could have gone 1,000 miles if he so chose to drive it that way.
I've heard nothing
And
good.
just-
I've heard nothing but good about the 6-cylinder Jags in general, because the XJ6 is known for big. I was looking at XJ6s as well.
Yeah.
Those I don't think I can justify, because an XJ6 was like a retardedly big car. But if I bought a Jag though, I'd have to get like leather driving gloves,
Yes, you would.
and I'd have to go everywhere and just go, I've got a Jag.
He's got a G.
I paid $3,000 for it. It's broken at the moment. Would you like to come
Okay,
have
so
a look?
let's see.
He has a GMC pickup.
Yeah,
My bro has a
those
350.
would borrow some parts of your car.
An
So I can fix
F350
it.
King Ranch. Jesus, I don't know what that is, but that sounds like the most American thing ever. A 69Z28 and
truck.
Chevy Suburban. Interesting. That sounds like the most stereotypical American lineup of cars ever. Hi, I own a bunch of pickup trucks and a Camaro. Also, hello.
What a tonic drop in as soon as you said that.
Hi, Camaro. Hi, Camaro. Hi, Scotian. I'm driving the worst thing in the world, the 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Z28.
Oh, you mean the best Camaro?
It makes less horsepower than my Honda.
You mean the best Camaro?
Sup, nerd?
How's it the best Camaro? It's the worst Camaro.
You mean the best Camaro?
Why is it the best Camaro?
Cause it's stupid.
No, it's the worst thing in the
Can't
world.
argue with that.
Exactly, it's stupid.
It's stupid. Well, can't argue with that.
It's a bit like Usain Bolt having put on 40 stone. Not really Usain Bolt anymore. It's quite the brodozer, I can imagine.
Yo.
Yo, Lucifer, how's it cracking?
I am really fucking tired.
Same.
And go to bed.
No. No! No, Emile's shitty
Daylight
Let's Play
savings
is...
time is
Do not call it shitty, just because I'm driving
It is
the worst
shit.
American car in the history of the world ever.
They're probably worse.
So-
Oh, dude,
Emile-
20% discount on 1,000 displacements by GM
Emile?
Performance Chevrolet.
It seems that all the fucking Alphas 159 had one biggest problem.
What?
They had fuel consumption.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah, the diesel had terrible fuel consumption, but it was
yeah,
full diesel.
yeah,
Sedona!
that's what I fucking read. Like people saying like, hey, even the diesel are shit. You're like, okay, you know something's a bit wrong. Even the diesel have fucking shit fuel economy.
Well, to be fair, you got to bear in mind, when I was looking at diesel stuff, I was looking at Alpha 159s and Volkswagen Phaetons. Phaetons don't have good fuel economy either, as it turns out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's the Phaeton. You can't go wrong with it.
Oh, you can. Have you heard about the fucking issues the Phaeton has?
No, I assume it has many.
Apparently, the Phaeton V10 TDI, according to Jalopnik, is one of the absolute all-time worst things to ever try and maintain. Because everything goes wrong all of the time, because it's a Volkswagen.
So,
Well,
I mean, to be fair,
And
if your
by the
check
time
engine
you
light's
do
not
get
on,
it
something's
fixed,
wrong
then
with
you
the
want to
car.
get rid.
Emile,
Hmm?
the diesel one is still somewhat fucking good.
Yeah, the 1.9 diesel, I don't want that shit.
No, the 2.4.
Oh yeah.
It's like 228 kph max and 8.4 seconds for 0 to 100
Yeah,
kph.
yeah. I don't know what it's like with the auto, because that's the one I was looking at. But I think that was my other issue as well. I didn't really have much faith in the Alpha Auto to stay together.
I mean, to
Also,
be Volkswagen, and the check engine light isn't on, there's something wrong with
I think Jalopnik said something about... Someone wrote in and said, my V10 TDI Touareg, which is basically the same thing, is the worst thing ever. And then someone else clapped back with like, have you owned a Passat W8 4Motion? Yeah! I love the Passat W8 4Motion, but apparently that thing is utterly atrocious.
Yeah,
Can't imagine why.
Well, Volkswagen was like,
problem
hey,
is-
Audi S4, hey BMW, hey look, we can compete with you, here's a 280 horsepower 4 litre W8 made out of 2 welded together 4 cylinders. Why is it broken?
Lovely.
Yeah. You know, the thing, by the time you get these big engines Volkswagens fixed, and you eventually want to sell them,
Oh, they're
they
worth
would have
nothing.
depreciated so much in price,
Yeah, they're worth about as much as a
actually
packet of Monster Munch.
paying people to buy it off you.
I
Really
saw a Phaeton for $2,000. With the 3 litre V6 diesel.
also, Emile,
Yes.
I think that the 2.4 diesel actually do rev somewhat high for diesel, because from what I see, it makes 210 HP at the 4,000 RPM.
Wow!
Yeah, so you can
Awesome!
I mean, you can expect it to run
My
like,
Panda at least made peak power at 5,000.
Yeah, but
And
yeah,
that
but
engine
you
was
can,
from 1982.
Yeah, but it wasn't a diesel.
No, it was a 1.1 petrol that squeezed out 55 horsepower that originally was carbureted, but they just morphed it over 30 years to become just a terrible engine.
Yeah.
That
It
every
wasn't
time you
terrible, it was in a Fiat.
Oh, it was great. Every single time you stopped, it sounded like the tappets were exploding. But apparently that's not actually the issue. The issue is Fiat just didn't insulate the car well enough, and for £100 you can get the engine lined with something, but no one ever did it, so... So every single time you stopped, all you heard is...
Ew, tank.
America, fuck yeah, what are we doing?
Oh,
Come in
God,
here
it's
to save the
fun.
motherfucking
We're doing
day.
America.
The Z28 Camaro will eventually
God,
reach
no.
the scene of the crime god.
Oh fucking hell! I want Emile. I hate you. I want an
Terrorists,
Alpha
your
159.
game is
Join
free
the- join the
because your
fucking
Hilux is
party.
quicker than Camaro Z.
At least we know one thing about. At least we know one thing about this Camaro.
What?
It's side.
It can reach 100 miles an hour.
It can. There's one slight issue with that. It's only
Yeah.
got 4 gears.
It's an American car, Emile, what do you expect?
It maxes at 120.
It's an American car, Emile, what do you expect?
My Honda's quicker.
Yeah,
Your
but you
mom
wanted
is
to-
quicker.
Oh! Repeat it for a third time.
Your mum's CRV's probably quicker.
Oh,
God,
no, my mom's CRV is fucking dead.
Yes, so's this thing. Probably.
I couldn't get the fucking.
It's American, Emile. It came off the factory dead.
Much like
Okay,
American Marines.
Oof.
Just like Americans, period.
Americans are
You gotta
only dead
admit,
when they
it does
die.
look kind of cool.
No, it
Only
doesn't.
two.
If you see this pull up onto your street, you don't go, wow, look at that guy's Camaro. You go, wow, I could win a race with that.
You know
one
what,
for."
Emile? I do say, wow, look at this guy. This guy's Camaro. Fuck you.
The Scion XD has a higher PI than this.
PI means nothing.
And it's the Scion XD.
PI means nothing.
This
So
car,
there is a lot-
when it's on the
Yeah,
starting-
but the Scion XD is
Stop
fucking
shouting.
hideous. No.
You're making my
So-
audio levels peak like a motherfucker.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
It's
Sometimes I feel like I have to shout because my
All
mic
I'm just seeing
big.
is just every time you speak, it's just red.
I'm generally though, I'm surprised you didn't use the 69 Charger or like a Challenger or even a
F-class
Trans
race.
Am. Oh.
F-class.
Charger-
Thank you.
There's
Damn
literally a
card.
choice. Do you know how many cars you get to pick from for this race?
How many?
2.
6.
Oh.
You can either
Is the
have...
77 Trans Am one of them?
No. You can
Fuck.
either have a Focus, a Fiesta, a Scion XD, a Chevy... What was it? A Chevy Aveo, a Camaro Z28, or a Corvette C1.
Oh.
The earlier or the later one?
A 60.
Okay.
The one that has 4 headlights.
Okay, so it's a better one then.
Yes. I.e. the one that'll still be slow as fuck when it goes around top gear eventually, but, you know.
Yeah. Because
I mean, actually, it's okay speed-wise, to be honest.
Has it got better? Has it got a better gearbox than the previous one I drove?
It has 3 instead of 2.
Wow.
Good. It's
Hold
a
on, wait.
50% improvement.
Let me. Yeah. I mean, I bet that's how they spun it in marketing. With 50% more gears, the Corvette C1 is better than the previous Corvette C1. New for 1960 model year.
who this?
You mum.
Order now and
Oh.
get a free Screaming Eagle plushie.
No, plushies didn't exist back then. It was probably like, get a free G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe didn't exist back then. It was probably anti-terrorism man.
No,
Get
it
a
was
free
no, G.I.
Action
Joe.
Man.
G.I. Joe's been around since like
that?
1960.
Get a free Action Man and also have this other Action Man that we drew a different face on so he looks like a Vietnamese soldier. Pow pow, motherfucker. It's the Chevy Corvette. Show your neighbors Show your neighbors America is #1. Oh god.
Okay, the GI Joe was originally launched in '64, so that would have been after the split window.
I like how this car has a Z28 badge on the steering wheel, and there's also a random Z28 badge next to the steering wheel to remind you are driving the Z28.
Yeah.
Would
yeah,
you
This
want
was
to
supposed
get
to
that
be the
though?
performance
No, you
Camaro,
wouldn't.
by the way.
Yes!
My uncle had one of these.
How long did it
Was it-
last?
No idea. All I know is that his girlfriend ran into a
We're
deer
done!
with it.
Thank God.
Oh
Coming
god,
up north,
finally.
coming up north with a bang. I don't think that was with a bang, that was more with a whimper. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. Next time we're going to drive something that's not an American piece of shit as we take a look at the Class E North American Tour. Join us for that. Until then, farewell.